do you have like 5 top tips if you're starting out in a project management career?
Yeah, I'm probably going to repeat myself a little bit.
Right, repeat away.
But you definitely get the fundamentals straight with the project management qualification. Making sure you're applying your skills widely and as quickly as possible in new environments. Recognize the difference between project management and project leadership, in as much as you, of course, you can be the person that follows the project management process, but they're probably not remembered as the best project managers. It's more about how many people did you develop along the way? What other differences did you make whilst you were doing it? Did you inspire some people? Because you're in a position where you can do that, making sure that you do it. So being clear on project management, which I would just say is following the process versus project leadership. That's 3, wasn't it? Right. I would say use the tools. If you're going to use the tools, use them very clinically and use them well. Don't half bake it. So if you're going to, with risk, with issues, with project planning, do a really good plan that's very well thought out. Don't take any shortcuts, but also recognize that there are times when you should abandon those tools and take a completely different approach, because it might make, because the business says that you have to. So do it well if you're going to do it, but if you have to pivot and do something very, very different, then do it. Don't be wedded to those tools. And probably finally, where next after project, program or portfolio management, in that it's a good set of skills to have, but think about, is that the end of your career, or are you entering this industry or this part of industry forever, or where is it going to take you next? So have an exit strategy if you like it, or if that's where you want to go, or stay and just keep getting better and better if you want to.
What's your strategy, Leigh? Are you staying, or have you got an exit plan?
So I think there's perhaps a risk that I might look a bit one-dimensional in there to someone just looking at my CV. So I think I'm as a project management person. So I think where I'd like to go next is being the person that manages the person running the portfolio of projects into more of a general management, operational manager role, something with day-to-day accountability for targets and profit and loss, or whatever that it may be. And I think the skills, the apprenticeship, let's call it, in project management will serve me well in that role.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much for all your information. Is there anything you'd like to add, like an off the cuff kind of, without me asking you questions? Anything you'd like to add?
No, it's a pleasure talking about these things, because I find it fascinating. I certainly agree with your comment about some of the skills that you learn at work can start to pay dividends in your life as well, around dealing with uncertainty and ambiguity and dealing with people. So I try not to see them as different things. If you get better in one, you're probably better at the other. So I'm more than happy to be talking about this kind of thing. And if anyone that's watching has got any questions, then feel free to get in touch with me.
Thank you, Leigh. That's really kind as well, because you've got I think you've really tackled your career in although you say you wish you'd made different, maybe more risky decisions earlier on, where you're at now is, you know, is incredible, and you've done really well in your career. And I think anyone like listening to what we've talked about will be really impressed. So you know, thank you so much for spending some of your time. I know your time's precious and you're a busy man. So thank you very much for chatting to me. And obviously I will pass on your details if there's anyone that comes back to me and says, you know, and you know, you're on LinkedIn, aren't you? So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
the world is your oyster.